I'm Nan Kempner, probably the greatest consumer of American fashion. My love of clothes, I think, started in the cradle. And I joined Harper's Bazaar magazine in about 67 or 68 and went on from Harper's Bazaar to be a design consultant at Tiffany's. And then I went on to be the American editor for French Vogue and an international representative for Christie's. There were coat manufacturers and dress manufacturers and sweater manufacturers, and you did not know who the designer was by and large. It wasn't considered as much of an art form, I don't think, because a lot of ladies were still having their clothes made by little dressmakers. And it's when the big department stores took over that they became very well known. They certainly weren't the movie stars they are today. You mentioned the name Bill Blass or Oscar de la Renta, and everybody wants to sit next to them at dinner. They're icons. Oh, I was thrilled I was at the age I was at when suddenly clothes became more yay. I was allowed to show my legs when I was the right age to show them. I loved the mini. I loved the hot pants. I loved halter tops. I loved exposing because there was a lot of me to expose, and it all looked pretty good back in the 60s. I'm very, very lucky, and I've always had really pretty clothes. And I'm still wearing my 70s clothes, but I'm never sure which is which. In fact, I'm just about to go to a party in an old dress of Bill Blass's that I discovered in the back of my closet that I don't think I've worn more than 2 or 3 times. But nothing, in evening dresses, nothing ever goes out of style, as long as your figure doesn't. Well, it got to be a bit much, didn't it? I mean, I can remember a lot of dresses that a lot of designers were making that had everything on them but the kitchen sink. They had pearls, they had beads, they had ruffles, they had bows. And that really just wasn't for me because I'm rather more of a simple type. Well, the 90s seemed to me to have gone by so quickly. There was so much travel and so much activity in my life that it seems to me that I rather simplified my dressing. And that's, I think, when I started going in for my golden oldies. I'd grab a jacket that was 20 years old and mix it with a pair of pants and a sweater or a shirt or something. I mean, I still bought more than anybody else, but I did try to simplify a bit. I feel that particularly now, my style has changed a great deal. I don't feel like a fashion victim. And I don't feel that anybody tells me what I should wear and what I shouldn't wear. And when I was young, we all used to read the magazines, and people used to say, how long are you wearing your skirts? How short are you wearing your skirts? Now I think you wear whatever makes you feel wonderful. As far as there are women, there's always going to be fashion, because women love to embellish themselves. And after all, what else can you do as often as change your clothes? I love American fashion. I like all fashion. As I say, I'm a fashionaholic. I don't particularly say this is American or this is European. When I shop, I buy what I like and I combine it with other things that I have that I like. I'm a big combiner and mixer-upper, as you may have noticed. If I had my way, I'd probably have one piece from everybody every season, and then I'd make such a muck-up putting them together. I love being different. I love creating my own sort of look out of what I buy. And I think that the time has come for that. I think women are much, much, much cleverer about how they put themselves together. And it doesn't really cost as much as it used to. Because there's the Gap, Banana Republic, Bloomingdale's Basement. And I'm very big on inexpensive clothes mixed with a marvelous old piece. Obviously, I love Bill and Oscar because they're very dear friends, and I love what they do, and I love to be with them. In fact, this is Oscar, the pants are Bill, the sweater's Ralph Lauren, and the shoes are Ralph Lauren. As they say, I'm the all-American polyglot. People like Bill and Oscar have always understood that women want to look beautiful. And that in itself is probably the most important thing about designing clothes. You can be funny, you can be clever, but a woman wants to look beautiful. She wants a man to say, oh my God, you look terrific. Let's face it, I think the great classic American design, is the blue jean by Levi Strauss. I don't think that the blue jean or the blue jean jacket, which, let's face it, are totally American designs, has ever been bettered. I always think of the trench coat. I always think of the polo coat. Skirts and sweaters and pants and sweaters. There's a kind of an American way of wearing. It's quite marvelous and very dégagé, very comfortable. That's what I mean about American clothes.